Hey everyone! In those quiet days, Adam continues his solitary journey, searching for hope and a fresh start. But can he overcome the challenges ahead? Amidst the scorching summer heat, Adam faces endless struggle, scraping by for every penny and enduring moments of isolation, even in the midst of a crowd. One fateful day, when all seems lost, a mysterious stranger appears, extending a hand to help Adam. Could this be the turning point he's been waiting for? And will Adam ever be reunited with Huyen and to the ones he's never stopped longing for? Join us as we follow this thrilling journey. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you won't miss the upcoming twists and turns. We'll uncover every detail of this captivating story together. Stay tuned and let's dive in. Under the scorching summer sun, Adam's weary footsteps echoed on the dusty road. His worn-out sandals and faded shirt were a testament to the time that had passed. Yet he pressed on, eyes focused ahead, searching for a spark of hope in a life that had offered him so little. Despite the exhaustion from long days of hard work, there was an invisible force inside him pushing him forward. As he neared a construction supply store where workers hurriedly unloaded heavy crates, Adam slowed his pace and stepped inside. The hustle and bustle around him continued, but no one paid him any mind. Adam wasn't bothered by this. He approached the store owner with a calm, determined voice. "Sir, do you need any help? I'm looking for work." The owner glanced up, sizing Adam up quickly. Seeing a young, healthy man before him, he nodded without hesitation. "Sure, go ahead and start." Adam wasted no time. Grateful for the opportunity, he jumped into work lifting heavy bags of cement and bricks onto the truck. Sweat drenched his shirt, dripping down his forehead, but there wasn't a single complaint. Each task he tackled, each step he took, was driven by a singular thought: his aging mother back home, who had sacrificed her whole life to raise him. Every time fatigue set in, he thought of her gentle gaze, and that pushed him to keep going, no matter how tough it got. The summer heat burned relentlessly, and Adam's face turned bright red from the sun. His shirt was soaked through, but there was no complaining, no grumbling. Instead, he shared light-hearted conversations with the workers around him to ease the strain. They laughed, telling small stories to forget the sweltering heat and grueling work. When the job was done, Adam let out a deep sigh and found a large tree by the roadside to rest. His body felt heavy, drained of all energy. He closed his eyes for a moment, feeling a light breeze rustling through the leaves, bringing a cool relief. He knew his mother was waiting for the money he had earned that day. Moments later, the store owner approached with the day's wages. Adam smiled as he gratefully accepted the money. His eyes sparkled with joy, not just because it was the payment for a long day's work, but because it symbolized a new hope, a renewed strength to keep moving forward. The smile on his face, though soft, carried all the determination and hope he had in his heart. Though life remained full of challenges, Adam knew that with every day of hard work, every drop of sweat, he was one step closer to his dream, providing a better life for his mother. No matter how tired he was, he would always press on for her, driven by the boundless love he had for the woman who had given everything for him. Under the intense heat of the summer afternoon, Adam hurried down the dusty road, his body exhausted after a long, grueling day of work. Though he'd earned a little money, he couldn't bring himself to splurge. The money he made was barely enough to buy a loaf of bread and a bottle of water simple meals that would fill his empty stomach after hours of hard labor. Clutching the bread, his eyes wandered toward the food stalls along the road where the mouth-watering smells of freshly cooked meals tempted him. Yet he held back, reminding himself, life is still tough. I can't afford to waste anything. Every dollar I earn comes from sweat and struggle. Slowly, he made his way to a large stone by the side of the road where a tree's shade offered him a brief moment of respite. Setting down the bread, he sat on the stone and began nibbling on the dry, hard loaf. It wasn't enough to fully satisfy him, but it was all he had at that moment. Adam looked around, his tired eyes still flickering with a glimmer of hope. He couldn't stop thinking about the tough road ahead, about dreams left unfulfilled, and about his family, his loved ones waiting for him somewhere far away. Just as he was lost in thought, a voice called out from behind, pulling him from his reverie. "Hey, young man, want to work with me?" Adam turned his eyes wide as he took in the man who had spoken. Despite knowing the job ahead would be tough and possibly dangerous, he couldn't say no. What he needed most right now was a job, an opportunity to keep surviving. "Sounds good," Adam replied, his voice steady despite the anxiety rising in his chest. He was willing to take on anything as long as he didn't give up. The work was familiar, hauling heavy loads, but this time the stones were bigger and heavier, weighing down his frail shoulders. Every step felt like he was dragging his body along with the weight of the work. Yet he never faltered. Sweat dripped down his face, soaking his shirt, and his skin grew darker under the brutal sun. His hands were rough and sore, but Adam didn't stop. He shoveled mortar with steady determination, as if this was the only thing keeping him alive. During a brief rest, Adam sat down the bread, still unfinished in his hand. His eyes gazed distantly at the horizon. Sweat continued to trickle down his face, but in that moment, his mind wandered to one person, Tuvi, the beautiful girl who had made his heart race. He remembered the brief encounters, the fleeting moments full of emotions. Every thought of her brought a bittersweet sadness that he couldn't shake off. Where is she now? He wondered, his heart heavy with worry. She might be somewhere living a peaceful life, while he struggled relentlessly with the weight of his hardships. Despite his exhaustion, Adam couldn't stop thinking about Tuvi. She was the greatest motivation that kept him going. He promised himself that one day, no matter what it took, he would find her and share everything he had kept hidden in his heart. Even though his life was difficult right now, he knew that as long as he had hope, he would never give up. Through Adam, we see a man filled with perseverance, someone who, despite being tired and beaten down, keeps thinking about the good things, the loved ones he cherishes. He constantly seeks a way to overcome his struggles, and though he sometimes feels hopeless, there remains a belief in his heart that things will get better. The unfinished loaf of bread, the sweat-drenched shirt, and his thoughts of Tuvi all serve to deepen the viewer's empathy, making them feel the hardship and sacrifice Adam endures. Exhausted beyond measure, his steps became heavier, each one feeling like a burden he couldn't shake. His legs ached, and his joints cracked with each movement as the summer heat still clung to his body, leaving him feeling hollow and worn out inside. "I guess I'll sleep here for the night," Adam thought to himself, his voice barely more than a whisper of resignation. It was too late to keep going, and he had no strength left to continue. He looked around. The road was empty, not a soul in sight. Only the distant glow of streetlights from far-off houses broke the darkness. The stillness of the night was eerie, and the chill in the air began creeping into his bones, sending a shiver through his body. Adam found a small corner by the roadside where an old stone bench sat. He sat down, leaning back against the cold stone, not wanting to think anymore. He just wanted to close his eyes and forget the worries, the pain, the weight of everything. But as his eyes shut, images he couldn't control flooded his mind. His aging mother waiting at home, 2V's encouraging words that he never dared to say back, and the endless struggles that still lay ahead. The fatigue washed over him like a wave, but within him, something deeper stirred a storm of thoughts he could never quiet. How could he change his life? How could he face an uncertain future when every step felt like more weight on his shoulders? These questions circled in his mind over and over again, leaving him even more confused. In the quiet of the night, alone with his thoughts, Adam breathed in deeply, feeling the exhaustion in every breath. But even through the weariness, a flicker of hope shone in his eyes. "No, I can't give up," he told himself. Even though everything seemed dark around him, he wouldn't let himself fall. He wouldn't allow himself to be weak. Each step, no matter how painful, no matter how tired, was part of a journey he couldn't quit. He thought of 2V, the girl who had once made his heart race, and the short time they had spent together. They had shared dreams, hopes, things he never had the chance to fully express. She was like a small flame bright against the darkness of his life, a light he could never abandon. No matter how hard it got, no matter how many long nights he had to face, he believed that one day he would get a fresh start. She would be the driving force that would help him rise above it all. As the night wore on, Adam lay down on the stone bench, his ragged shirt barely covering his thin, worn body. Every sigh, every shift in position carried with it a longing for a better life, for a brighter future. But there was one thing he knew for sure: no matter how tough it got, no matter how long the night stretched on, Adam would never give up. Because deep down, he held on to the belief that one day the light would break through the darkness, and no matter the trials ahead, he would keep moving forward.
Xin chào các bạn thân mến. Trong những ngày tháng bình yên, Adam vẫn lại ở với hy vọng của một xuân mới. Liệu anh có thể vượt qua được thử thách phía trước hay là những trường Huyen Adam đối mặt với những khó khăn? Từ những tìm kiếm những đầu vàng cho đến những giây cô đơn giữa đám đông. Một ngày nọ, khi tuyệt vọng nhất, thanh niên bí ẩn bất ngờ xuất hiện và chia tay giúp đỡ Adam. Đây cũng là một điều quan trọng trong đời anh, và liệu Adam có thể gặp lại ở đây và để những người mà anh khóc và nhớ về. Anh theo dõi hành trình đầy kịch tính này từ tương lai và kỳ kinh để không bỏ lỡ những diễn biến tiếp theo. Giờ anh đang trói trang của buổi chiều hè, bước chân nhẹ nhàng, Adam vang lên trên con đường bằng dép đi ra mòn, chiếc áo đã bạc màu theo thời gian. Nhưng anh vẫn kiên trì bước đi, mắt hướng về phía trước như đang tìm kiếm một tia hy vọng mới. Trong cuộc sống tôi thường mệt mỏi vì những ngày dài làm việc vất vả, trong lòng Adam vẫn có một sức mạnh vô hình thôi thúc anh tiếp tục làm việc. Và khi đến một giờ làm việc xây dựng, chúng ta cũng là công tác của hàng hành trình, Adam dừng lại, chậm chậm bước vào và xung quanh vẫn làm việc. tâm, thưa ông chỗ mình thiếu người công tôi xin vào làm.